Today is the last day of August 2024, and in the last week the fig tree has had a spurt of new growth, with multiple new leaves popping out, at least in the new, lower branches which sprouted after the main part of the tree died a few months back. This makes me think of the fig tree nation, Israel, where the southern area of Gaza is slowly being liberated, but in the north, the Jewish people have been evacuated from the area bordering with Lebanon and are under a much higher threat from rocket fire and potentially from invasion than from the south, where Hamas is largely confined to its tunnels and can only fire the occasional rocket. There are more Israelis in Gaza in 2024 than there were during the previous 19 years before October 7th. Admittedly, they are all soldiers, but Israelis nonetheless. So, what happens next? Will there be a ceasefire in Gaza, or even with Hezbollah, or will the war continue for the next year or more? There is a lot of pressure from the current US administration to make a ceasefire deal and thus get the hostages released before the US election in November, but Hamas won't agree to Israel's demand to be allowed to police the border with Egypt, which Hamas has used to smuggle weapons and people through tunnels which run under the border. Perhaps when Hamas realizes that they have no choice, they will agree to a ceasefire, but only when their allies in the region are ready to come down and carry out the prophesied Gog Magog invasion. That alone is a reason why the rapture may be sooner than we think. The closer that Israel gets to shutting down Hamas and Hezbollah, the sooner they will agree to a ceasefire, and that in turn will trigger the Gog Magog invasion, because those external allies will realize that they can no longer use their proxies to fight Israel, they will have to get involved themselves. Whether that will happen in the next 5 weeks, as I was hoping, is hard to tell. It could be longer than that, but the only way to find out is to wait and see, as always. Once again, I have to emphasize that any discussion of rapture timing is not prophecy or prediction, it is only speculation, and may not come to pass. As always, like, subscribe, comment, share, etc. if you like this content, and if the Lord doesn't tarry, see you on the other side.